Well. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Mike and T-Roy.
Hi.
How are you, pal?
I'm all right, I suppose.
Checking my volumes on stuff. Something
Checking your levels?
off. Yeah. I think we're good.
I think so.
I'm sorry. I asked you how you doing.
I'm well.
You're well.
I'm
okay.
still well, yeah.
Yeah, good.
Fine, good enough, I suppose, all the above.
Yeah, good enough is good enough for me. I feel 1,000 times better than I did yesterday.
Yeah, well.
Oh, that was a rough one. Dude, I was at that appointment for like 3 hours yesterday, and he stuck that needle in me, that, for my epidural.
Yeah?
And
You think a needle would be better than a fist?
yeah. And it is. But, I've had people tell me, like, get knocked out when you do the epidural. I found that it was easy. Small needle in the back. And
Yeah, it didn't.
no,
it
it wasn't.
didn't hurt or anything when I got mine.
And it's not worth going through the coming out of the cloud shit. You end up being there for extra time. Then you have to have someone drive you there and drive you home. They won't legally do it otherwise. And so it's like, just I don't need all that. Just fucking do the shot. It's been fine. This time it's like he went full ham. It was just like, no. If this is the last epidural you're getting, I'm getting it. I'm getting right into that fucking nerve.
Yeah.
God damn it. I'm going to scrape the bone. I'm going to get into that nerve. And I'm like, oh, shit. Yeah, I can feel that one. He's like, I know. I said, you are hitting a spot. Like, you're right on the nerve. He said, yeah, I'm really close. And then he's like, hold on with me. And he just started moving that fucking needle around.
Twisting it.
And I was like, oh, shit, doc. But all I could think of was, it didn't feel like this the first two times.
Okay.
So if he wasn't close enough to the nerve and everything, maybe that's why it didn't take as much. And this time he's like, all right, we're getting in there good.
Maybe.
And it felt totally different. It fucking, like the last couple times, as soon as they took the needle out, I didn't even feel anything. I felt fine, 100%. This time it hurt all fucking day. Like they got in there and stabbed something.
Yeah, they were there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And so last night it was hard to sleep. I'm glad you went to bed early because I took so many muscle relaxers and I felt fine. I wasn't sleepy. I wasn't anything. And I was just like, God, it's really weird. And then I stood up and I was just like, whoa, like that whole thing. And I was like, okay. And then I laid down and I went to bed at like 12 and at like 3 in the morning, I was still awake. And then finally, that's the last thing I remember. And then I woke up at like 9 o'clock this morning. And I was like, holy shit, I feel way better today.
That's good.
Way better. Yeah.
Let's hope it stays.
Yeah. I hope so. I doubt it. I mean, I made a post last night kind of explaining what was going on and why, because I'm highly sensitive to missing shows.
Sure.
Just because of the time off I had and everything. It's I'm just very sensitive to it. I feel like, I've let people down and, a lot of people have issues and they still go to work and they still... So I'm acutely aware of it, and I don't want to disappoint people and let people down. And so I wrote a post last night just kind of explaining what was going on, and everyone's been so great and so understanding, even though they're probably going, oh, fuck this dude, behind my back. But I appreciate all the well wishes and all the people that everyone's got the perfect doctor.
Oh, of course.
You know what I mean? Like that, you throw something out like that, and I appreciate it. I really do. My surgeon has given me a couple, or the pain guy that's doing the epidurals has given me a couple surgeons. But while I was still on what is basically like a massage table with the donut in front to put your head in,
Face down, ass up.
Yeah. So I have to roll from the bed I'm on that they wheel me into the room, the operating room in, and then I have to roll over. It sucks. It's painful as shit just to roll over onto this spot. I'm still in that spot with my head in this donut, and he's like, well, we're done, Mike. Surgery is next. There's nothing else. Like, he's telling him, like, gotcha, doc. Yeah, okay. He's like, I need you to call these surgeons, get something set up, and blah, blah, blah. We'll get it going. I'm like, all right, Dr. Ashman, sounds good. So that's the next step. If this thing, whatever he did, helps it, I will fucking put that off as long as I can.
Sure.
But I don't know, but I appreciate all the well wishes from people. It's good to be back. Hopefully I don't have to take too many days, but from time to time, it's just my reality. So I apologize to those that were looking for a show yesterday. I hate missing it. I'm very glad to be back here today. So that being said, let's get on with things.
Okay.
RadioFor1.com, my friend, is live. You know this. I know this. There is fresh new merch in there. that we just launched. Yeah. I can't guarantee deliver before Christmas. I know you heard me making the announcements in Troy last week about that. But there's some really cool stuff in there, and maybe it can get you before Christmas. Maybe it's one of those, you wrap up a note in a box for someone like your shit's on the way, and hopefully it gets there. But there's new sweatshirts. There's just women's sweatshirts that look really cool.
A nice cut.
Yeah,
accentuate
cut
those
for the
curves.
titties and the ass. It's all there for the titties and the ass. We want to accentuate that and show that off. T-shirts, sweatshirts, men's, women's, beanies, hats. More will be added, I promise. But for right now, that's what we've got going on in there. The Amazon link, Amazon Canada, is live. You can shop like normal. Just go to radiofor1.com, please. Click on those Amazon links. Won't charge anymore. You know that. My Pillow. Just use promo code TDC, and they hook us up. They're very good to us. Groupon is there. You can shop through the link there. That helps us out. Also, a link to our Patreon page. Mm-hmm. Big fans of the Patreon
Absolutely.
page.
We have a new member as well.
Excellent.
Peter's brother decided to sign up.
Peter's brother.
Yeah, Anthony Gabriel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Pete's brother.
Yeah.
Sure, Pete Gabriel. Yeah. Guy's great.
Welcome aboard, sir.
Yeah.
Tell your brother we said hello.
Absolutely.
Clearly, you're the more talented brother.
Yes, and the smarter one. Peter Gabriel hasn't signed up for shit.
Exactly right.
Fuck Peter Gabriel.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck that dude.
I've actually been saying that for a long time.
Yeah. I did get, by the way, I mentioned MyPillow and the mystore.com if you want to get their coffee. The TDC promo code works at all that. Well, I got a note from Dawn this morning, and it's an official, for immediate release today, announcement.
Ooh. Breaking news.
Mike Lindell officially announces his challenge to the sitting RNC chair, Ronna McDaniel. It's time to get real with the state of the Republican Party.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a great idea.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the state of the Republican Party is these days.
Well, I know Harmeet Dillon, I believe, is running for Ronna McDaniel's seat.
Okay.
And Harmeet Dillon is a pretty well-known, I don't know if she's civil rights attorney, but she's an attorney. But she's great. She does a lot of interviews. And I think for a lot of people, they think that the Republican Party is just kind of sailing without,
Rudderless ship?
Yeah, thank you. Kind of a rudderless ship and losing multiple elections when we all feel like the country's going down the wrong road. When you ask voters, 75% of the country feels like it's going down the wrong road.
Yeah.
And one party is very much so carrying it down that road that people do not like. I don't think we even need to name it, but we all know what we're talking about when you go, it feels fucking wrong. How is it that you keep losing elections to what most people believe is the driving force in taking this country in the wrong direction? How do you keep getting your ass handed to you?
It's a great question.
It is a great question. The current RNC leadership has failed for 3 election cycles. The donors have approached me. They're not going to give any more to the RNC. When you have 3 Fs in a row, you don't get elected. One of the biggest failures was collecting money for the same old status quo, thinking you're going to win with a failed model. So I think a lot of people feel like this.
Sure.
I think Mike Lindell, as much as he's been great to us over the years, I enjoy talking to him. I think he's funny as shit. I think he's a lot smarter than people think. You don't just start a business and turn into a $1 billion industry overnight.
It's not luck.
No, it's not luck. And for all his issues that he's been very open about, he's a very entertaining guy that has run headfirst into the thing, which, if you know anything about Mike Lindell, that's kind of his MO, right? He takes his crack addiction as seriously as he takes running for the RNC chair.
Yeah.
When he was running his bar in Minnesota, it was the same way. His drug addiction was the same way. His MyPillow drive, same way. His election fraudulent claims, the same way. This is what his behavior is. This is what he does. So, but that also alienates a shitload of people.
It does.
It
absolutely does.
Yeah.
He's lumped into that election denier category.
Yeah.
And Trumper.
I'm not going to say he's wrong, though.
I'm not saying he's right or wrong.
You know what I mean? I don't want to get into that debate.
That's not my point. I'm just saying, but that's when you talk about the fracturing of the Republican Party right now. It feels like even that is divided sort of in half in the Trump and no Trump.
Right.
And he's Team Trump. Fine, right, wrong, or
100%.
indifferent. Not so.
Yep, no doubt about it.
That I don't know what kind of support you're going to get. I know you're going to get half support.
Yeah.
And I think that we're at a point where the only way this changes is if they somehow unify and get their shit together.
Yeah.
That whichever direction that is. I'm not saying what's right or wrong, but they're fractured right now. Badly. And it's not a good look, and it shows.
And you shouldn't be losing.
When
when you have 75% of voters saying the country's headed in the wrong direction, that usually is a death sentence for whoever's in charge.
Yeah.
Like, how is that statement true, and then you still vote for it? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, they got their dicks kicked in this time on the Republicans on these elections. They didn't handle it. I don't know the intricacies of it, but they let abortion dominate the ballot box.
Yep.
Everything was it was either Trump or abortion.
Yeah.
That was it. And it worked. That's the bottom line, is that it worked.
Yeah, and it's sad because I think part of it is they just went, the country's a mess. 75% of voters think we're going in the wrong direction.
Yeah, here comes your red wave.
Inflation's out of control. Like all the mandates sucked, and the damage done by these COVID mandates and mask mandates in schools has all been a fucking disaster. And they took all that information and went, this guarantees us a red tsunami. So just sitting there going, well, we didn't do what these guys did. They're in charge right now, and look what your gas prices look like. Look what inflation looks like. Like, they just sat back like that was good enough. And you're 100% right. Abortion ruled this thing.
Absolutely. That decision by the Supreme Court, I called it when it happened. Was going to sink that midterm.
You did call that. I thought there was enough time.
Exactly. It's not top of mind for enough people. The economy's a bigger deal. Well, they took it and ran with it, and that's all it took.
Oh, they made it an attack on women. Period.
Exactly.
An absolute attack on women, and you know.
And you could do enough of them.
It's sad.
Yeah, there was enough that were Trump backed.
Yeah.
That they used that as an attack. And it failed. Whatever it was, their tactic, it just didn't work out. They weren't prepared. They didn't handle it well enough. Whatever it is. So I believe there does need to be. Sounded weird in my head. Change at the top. However, this is working out.
Right.
Do I think Lindell's the guy? I can't say yes or no. My gut tells me probably not.
Well,
I think you need more inclusion than division at this point, and I think he's more of a lightning rod.
He's definitely more of a lightning rod. They're going to hate whoever's in charge there.
Well,
but Mike Lindell is there's no doubt.
He already comes in with a stigma attached to him. So you'll never overcome that, no matter how well you do.
No.
So I don't know. I don't know. But
well, he's running. This is a critical time for the RNC. Donors need a return on their investment, and so does the country. I've done my due diligence and can't figure out why my opponent would even consider running again. I'm assuming she has another agenda rather than saving our country. I believe Mike Lindell when he says that. I do. You know, I think Mike Lindell's an honest guy. I think he's a straight shooter. Just like you said, he's a lightning rod.
Yeah.
And people on the left despise him as much as Trump, as much as they despise Trump.
Yep.
There's no doubt about that. They think it's a shot. They just call him the pillow guy.
My pillow guy, right?
Yeah, not even my pillow guy.
Yeah, because
it's just the pillow guy.
The pillow guy.
Like the people they hate, they'll be like Trump and Scott Baio and Kid Rock and the pillow guy. Like this thing. It's like, yeah, well, that pillow guy is worth $500 million because of the pillow guy company he started. You know what I mean? Like it's a dig, and it's kind of a fuck you. It's a way to dismiss anything the guy says.
Exactly.
The former crackhead pillow guy. It's like, yeah, the guy that made a multi-billion-dollar fucking business by himself.
Just discredit
coming
him.
out of a crack haze, by the way. And you want this all in, this forgiveness, like everyone's a victim who's a drug addict when they're homeless. You want us to just bend over backwards for all of them, yet Mike Lindell can eat the whole bag of dicks.
Right.
You know what I mean? You shit on him for his crack habit instead of going, look at the amazing story. Look what this country will allow you to do, no matter where you come from. You can be the biggest fucking crackhead on planet Earth, and then turn that around on a dime and do whatever you want and create great. It's an American dream story.
Well, if his political beliefs aligned a little differently, then he probably would be heralded that way.
Exactly.
But
and his shit would still be in fucking Walmart, and his shit would still be in, Bed Bath and Beyond. But that's the attack that he gets. The Republican Party needs leadership in modern technology and election securities and on supporting our incredible grassroots candidates across the country. I have that knowledge. I'm ready I am already engaged with all 50 states doing this work without title, blah, blah, blah. We have a country to save. I intend to help our great Republican leaders across this country do that. Signed, Mike Lindell. So, yeah. See where that goes. Like I said, as much as I like the guy personally, and I really, really do, we haven't had him on in a long time. I can't wait for you to meet him.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Yeah, and
I can't pretend to know exactly what the was it the chair of the RNC the position.
Yeah,
what exactly their job duties entail.
I know,
but
if they're the rudder of the ship, though,
yeah,
and I'm right there with you, T. What are your duties?
I have no idea.
I mean, because it's not like they appoint where the money goes. I mean, fucking the Turtle was doing that. Showing like where they were going to spend the money on which candidates, and a lot of people believe they fucked that up royally.
Yeah.
That they were not going to win these certain elections, and they could have won a number of other ones if they had spent some money on those. But I won't pretend to know enough about it either.
But where we're going with this, but what seems to be the Trump DeSantis showdown of 24 coming at us. I'm not sure that I want somebody. I wholeheartedly believe DeSantis is the better option there.
No doubt.
And having somebody that's pro-Trump in that affiliation may not be the best. And not one way or the other, to be honest with you. I want somebody that's neutral in a position like that doesn't know any favors, doesn't have, isn't in bed with anybody. I'm not saying he can't be fair and impartial, but I already know we know where his alliance is. Exactly. Yeah. So to be in that position, I don't know exactly what that job entails, but there's got to be some influence there. When we talk about who gets the nomination coming out for the
they tend to get a lot of blame when your team loses. Yeah. But I'm with you. I don't really know what exactly they do. I mean, they make the announcements of who's going to be speaking at each other's conventions. The DNC and RNC, I know they do that. Like, guest speakers include Scott Baio and Mike Lindell. Like they'll kind of run that shit, but that doesn't seem like that important of a deal. They always seem
I'm
like
pretty sure there's more to it than that.
I am too, but I don't know what it is. Is my whole point. I don't know.
No, that was.
But you know what I would say is the left has a responsibility to nominate whoever they think is best in their chair seat. I would say on the right, the RNC is equally responsible. It doesn't matter what the left thinks about who you decide on to run, and it doesn't matter what the right thinks about who the left decides.
Now, is that just an in-house election or a vote? How do they decide?
It must be. Yeah, because the country's not voting on it. So it's just, and maybe it's only an in-house vote with a certain number of people. Right. I just don't know. I'm out of my depths here, to be honest with you. I don't know enough about it.
Well, I do wish Lindell well in any and all ventures that he does.
Yeah. His slippers are dope. His sheets are the best. I love his pillows. His book's hilarious.
I want what's best for this country.
Yeah.
And if that turns out that that's him, then God bless. Let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see.
We shall.
We shall see soon enough. Sam Bankman-Fried.
Yeah. Good old SBF.
Yeah.
The goofy little fucker.
Yeah, he is. God, is he autistic as fuck or what? That dude is so on the spectrum. Holy shit. I'll be honest with you. I don't understand this story.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
reading these stories. It sounds like a big deal. Sounds like some sort of Ponzi scheme, maybe. Lost billions of dollars for investors. He's apparently hits out on his life. The elitists in New York had him on a panel and gave him a fucking ovation, which blew my mind. But I don't understand this cryptocurrency thing. It surprises me when none of them fold and go completely belly up and everybody loses everything. I don't know why nobody can explain how this works. Literally nobody can explain it in terms that I go, oh, why didn't you say that the first time? Now I get it. No, nobody can. People send me videos on it. People send me 2-hour discussions on it. And this will clear up everything you need to know. No, it doesn't. No, it fucking doesn't. You know? And I think we're all afraid to miss the train on the next big thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you could go back and invest in Apple day one, if you could go back and invest in Twitter or Bitcoin, and you're like, God, like, dude, I remember when Bitcoin hit the market. I remember that day sitting in the studio, and I could have put $100 down on it and been God knows how wealthy.
Yep.
That was right there for the taking.
You've been a lot more wealthy about a year ago.
Right. But I don't get it. You know, I was talking to my brother about it. He and his wife invested, you know, not a ton, but a few grand into like for this FOMO.
Exactly.
Absolute FOMO move.
Yep.
Fear of missing out. They didn't want to be like
COVID played a big part in that.
Yeah.
People just didn't. Everybody had this time. Everything was just kind of going through the roof, and okay, bang. A lot of people just got into it.
Was everything going through the roof, or was it just Bitcoin going through the roof?
No, I mean a lot. And what it was too was it wasn't just Bitcoin was going through the roof, but Bitcoin, I mean, has just steadily been gaining. I mean,
yeah,
it has its moments, you know, but it's not like it just went from 0 to 1 billion one day. Like it's just been steady.
But it goes steady climb, and then it drops, and then it goes steady climb, and but more violently when you're talking about
and it
crypto
mimics
world.
the market a lot of times with those sort of things where people will cash out.
Yeah,
and it's the people, the early investors like you. I mean, when you talk about getting in early, that didn't put a lot of money in, then have a lot of money. Well, when it was a fraction of a penny a piece, and you put $1,000 on it, and you have 10 million Bitcoin or whatever, just for money, you know. Well, then when it's up to a lot of money, and you sell quite a bit of that, well, it hits the market a lot harder than when it's $10,000 a piece, right? And so when you have $1,000 into it, you have a tenth of a Bitcoin,
right?
As opposed to
1,000.
You know, right?
Yeah.
So when you take your money out, well, then that makes a hit. It's just like the market, buys and sells, hit ups and downs.
So people are they afraid that their investment can't keep going through the roof, so they're going to take out what they can? Like I understand that if you made $1,000 investment in it, and all of a sudden you're a millionaire, I could see not wanting to take your initial investment out, but taking your $1 million and then going, I'll wait for it to drop again, and then I'll get back in.
Yep.
That's not probably the smartest play.
Buy the dip, as they say.
Yeah, right. And then you're just trying to ride that thing.
Yeah.
But so many other ones. What is Safe Moon and Dogecoin?
Yeah,
there's a million of them. FTX was huge. There's going to be so many lawsuits involved with it.
But see, FTX was, I think they had their own token. I think they were an exchange, more of an exchange like, anyway, crypto.com. So
right.
Along those lines. I think it was more of an exchange than it was an actual, like Bitcoin is a token. Is a coin,
right?
And there's difference between coins and tokens as far as which is which.
Not to
get into that. Well, I know. Exactly. And again, obviously, I'm not super educated on this either.
More so than I am.
But
though. I mean,
but yeah, I think FTX was an exchange, like a bank, basically. Look at it that way. The tokens are the money. The exchange is the bank, right? So he was running the bank, buying and selling, however they were doing it.
Well, he had two companies.
Okay.
Right? And he was playing them off each other, something like that. Alameda Research, both controlled by Bankman-Fried, and an insular group of amateur executives working from a luxury penthouse in the Bahamas. FTX recently filed for bankruptcy after users discovered the platform was likely fraudulent, intertwined with the firm Alameda Research, which was also controlled by him.
Yep.
We allege that. And by the way, that was a real fuck den, it sounds like, in the Bahamas.
Oh, right.
They were polyamorous. I'll get to that story in a minute.
Oh, yeah. When there are a whole group of them down there. Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
We allege that Sam Bankman-Fried built a house of cards on a foundation of deception while telling investors that it was one of the safest buildings in crypto. SEC Chair Gary Gensler remarked in a press release, the alleged fraud committed by Mr. Bankman-Fried is a clarion call to crypto platforms that they need to come into compliance with our laws. Compliance protects both those who invest on and those who invest in crypto platforms with time-tested safeguards, such as properly protecting customer funds and separating conflicting lines of business. Bankman-Fried has insisted during multiple interviews that his company's failure was due to ineptitude rather than overt criminal behavior. So isn't part of the point of Bitcoin is that you're not dealing with regulators who provide that comfort, where an FDIC, situation is backed by the bank. So if someone robs the bank, you don't lose all your money. Yeah. If someone robs one of these guys, you're shit out of luck.
You are straight out of luck. Yes.
Yeah. But isn't that kind of the point?
Yeah. It's DeFi is what they decentralized finance. So it's going around, but there's, and again, I'm speaking out of fucking my league here, but it's basically it's community money essentially, and there's the long and short of it essentially is that there's a ledger of all of it. Yeah, it's all trackable, it's all traceable. Allegedly.
Right, the blockchain.
Right. So everything that happens, you can see. So when somebody buys or sells or does this, there's a history of it. There's a tracking of it. So if some guy comes in and robs the bank and takes the cash, well, unless you trace the serial numbers and you knew who it was, that's gone, right?
Yeah.
With this, supposedly it was nobody can just take your blockchain because it's your blockchain, like it's your tokens, right? Like, but that's just not seemed to be how this is working. People are getting hacked all the time. Wallets are getting jacked.
Isn't that just the way?
Of course. And I mean, so that was my biggest thing going into it was that it wasn't supported by anything. I mean, you can laugh and say the dollar's supported by gold, but you know what I mean. But there's nothing
not
essentially
since the 70s,
right? But there's nothing that really backs this, government or otherwise, or anything in trade.
Right.
So it was just sort of mythical money. So to me, because I was early and I chose not to because I just didn't buy it, right? I didn't buy it and I didn't believe in it.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And I didn't buy it because I didn't believe in
it. I didn't believe in it only because nobody could explain it.
Yeah.
In human terms, I feel like I'm not the dumbest person on earth, not the smartest either, but not the dumbest.
Yeah.
You should be able to explain this to someone in lay terms.
I just felt like
give me your elevator pitch.
It could just disappear one day. And you would have no recourse whatsoever.
Yeah, and that's happened time and again.
Yeah, that it's not tangible, that there's nothing. So that was my hesitation on it. And then it got to the point where FOMO, right? You started seeing it, and it got bigger, and it got,
Yeah.
And I already missed the boat on Bitcoin, essentially. But there was other ones that were coming out and blowing up.
Yeah, and they were worth fractions of a penny.
Yeah.
Some of them.
Some of them. It depends on where they were at. And everything has... Like, you have to have a usage. I forget what exactly the term is for it, but it can't just be arbitrary. Like, it has to serve a purpose for it to have value.
Right.
It has to have a functional use, essentially. So there were different ones, like their own blockchain, like Binance, a company that does their own blockchain. So all these little tokens that don't have the technology or whatever to do their own blockchain, they jump on this, they use that blockchain to make their thing. Well then, so Binance grows off of their community that way. It's not just the Binance token, it's everybody using there, because there was only a handful of blockchains essentially out there, the big companies that had their own blockchain.
You've lost me already.
Right.
Yeah.
But the there was a point to that at the end, but I don't remember what the hell it was. But it just seems so arbitrary.
Yeah.
That
have any of those that you bought in really early? Have any of those survived and like?
I mean, they're all still around, but they're not. I mean, no, everything and right. I mean, everything in the crypto is down massive right now. I mean, like 80% plus.
Stories like this don't help.
No, absolutely not.
You know what I mean? And that's one of the things in the complaint is
that was what I was getting to. Sorry, is a rug pull. Which whether this is considered a rug pull or not, or how this all went down, we'll see.
Yeah.
But what happens is these people do this. They develop a token, a coin, or whatever, and it's worth zero basically when it starts. It's worth nothing.
Right.
So they can buy or have as many as they want. Essentially, however they structure it. So the early ons have millions and millions or whatever of these coins.
Right.
Well, it doesn't take a lot for that to pay off. So you just have to get some traction. You sucker some celebrity into backing you. You do whatever you got to do
get a little press
to get this to go, knowing that you were never in this for the long term. That you just need this to get to X, start to take off, take all your shit out, cash it out, go. I mean, there's different levels of that. There's different where you just steal everybody's money and go. There's ones where you just sell your stuff And by doing that, you sell so much of it that it collapses on its own.
Yeah.
So I don't know enough.
And if none of it's regulated, it's all on the blockchain. None of it's regulated.
Yeah.
I mean, you're at the mercy of
So
whoever's running it. And
you would think
can
if it
pull the
gets
rug.
stolen, like you would be able to track that. You know what I mean? Like that would be a transfer somehow that would be traceable, and would be the whole point of it. I think was that was supposed to not be able to happen.
Yeah,
It seems like it's happening quite a bit.
Exactly what was supposed to be the case.
But I don't know, man. And I don't know enough about this guy, especially with all the crazy rumors about where the money was going and how that was all being used.
Yeah.
And,
well, it's, these people all loved him, especially the Dems that he gave all this money to. But then you have your Super Bowl commercial with Tom Brady in it. And I think, isn't that the one that even has the actor, Fortune Favors the Brave? Remember that commercial with
is that Matt Damon?
Matt Damon?
I think he was Crypto.com.
Was he?
Yeah, I think, which is basically the same thing, essentially. I think it's just a different company.
Okay. The agency's complaint, so he was arrested, by the way, in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Sam Bankman-Fried. Sorry.
Yet they didn't say anything about what
I developed this cough last night, and it's kind of deep and painful. I don't know what it is, but
Hang in there, buddy.
I'm trying.
They haven't released what any of the charges were yet, have they? Disclosed any of what the charges were?
No, it sounds like they knew the United States was going to ask for arrest and extradition, so they just grabbed him early, and they're just waiting for the Southern District of New York to request him, which I think they have.
See, that seems odd to me. You can't just go snatch a guy if there's not already like a warrant for him.
Yeah, well, tell that to the Bahamian authorities.
I know.
I'll read it to you what they did, and I don't know.
Just saying, there's more to this.
Yeah.
There's much more
probably.
to this.
The agency's complaint asserted that Bankman-Fried defrauded more than $1.8 billion from investors, with most of the funding sourced from American citizens, while touting FTX as a safe and responsible platform. Even as he provided Alameda Research with a virtually unlimited line of credit funded by the company's customers. The complaint also alleges that he used commingled funds to make undisclosed venture investments, lavish real estate purchases, and large political donations. He contributed roughly $39 million to the Democratic nominees during the recent midterm election cycle, which ranked him as the country's sixth largest individual midterm donor. I heard he was the second largest next to George Soros.
Yeah, I did too. And that number kept going up and changing. I don't know what's right anymore, but
he said
either way,
he contributed about the same amount to Republicans through dark money in a recent interview. Also gave millions of dollars to media outlets and provided loans to the chief executive of crypto publication The Block. Okay, so he's going the Bill Gates route. When you get bad press, you buy the media off.
Right.
And then they don't do bad stories about you because you're giving millions of dollars to them. It's the same as anybody that has sponsors. It's very, 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 very hard to stand up and be critical of someone that's paying your bills. It's almost impossible unless you are so big that you can afford to tell these people to fuck off and you can give your honest opinion. It's just very difficult. So this is a tactic that goes way before Bill Gates even, but Bill Gates learned it early at IBM that if we donate hundreds of millions of dollars to media outlets, they won't be able to criticize me, because he was getting his dick kicked in for a while there. Now they all worship him like he's not just a college dropout who, they treat him like he's some sort of god.
Yeah.
He's not a fucking scientist.
No.
He's not a doctor, yet we go to him for fucking...
Yeah, you'd think his opinion really matters on things.
Right. You would think so. It shouldn't, and now we know why. And so it sounds like Bankman-Fried is going, I could be the biggest douche on the planet. As long as I give enough money, they'll never say a bad word about me. It's a great move. It swindles everybody into believing that you're way more legit than you are. Bill Gates is a fucking monster. He's a literal monster. And we'll never know the truth about how many trips to fucking Rapey Island he went to. That's why his fucking wife left him. I don't care what anyone says. She did not like his relationship with Captain Rapey on Perv Island or whatever, Epstein Island, but that's where that dude was hanging out. And I get it. When you're one of the world's richest men, It's not like you can go to a local bar and pick up pussy. So, he could just get flown to some whore island, rape island, whatever you fucking underage whore rape island, and just go there and fuck underage girls, I guess. And he's never given a good reason for that. Nobody questions him on it. He's bought them all off. And so Bankman-Fried at 30 is trying to do the same fucking thing.
He tried.
He says that he would give anything to start a new venture and earn the funds necessary to compensate investors and customers. I bet every criminal would say that. They would all love that too.
Yeah.
It's not how it works, Samuel.
No.
Officials at the SEC nevertheless intend to bar him from participating in the issuance, purchase, offer, or sale of any securities except for his own personal account. Current FTX CEO John Ray III, an attorney who succeeded Bankman-Fried to handle the company's bankruptcy, confirmed that the young executives managing the firm, were entirely unqualified. Never in my career have I seen such a complete failure of corporate controls and such a complete absence of trustworthy financial information as occurred here.
Yep.
Wow.
I mean, basically, sounds like a Ponzi, essentially. They generated all this money, dicked around with it, and then once shit hit the fan and people went to cash out, didn't have the funds to liquidate. And that's a problem.
That's a real problem.
That's a real problem.
Well, there's other reports about this Bahamian penthouse fuck room.
Yeah.
That he and all his people, these are just nerds getting pussy probably for the first time. I could say...
There are a lot of connections with family, too, like his parents, his sister.
His parents are
like
super liberal, donors to the Democrat Party. One's like a Stanford professor. One's a doctor or something like that. And they went down to the Bahamas and are backing their son, like leaving their jobs, and they've got shit tons of money.
Oh, I bet they do.
Yeah. And so they're willing to go bankrupt to fucking help their idiot kid out. I got to think, dude, if you made $10, you could probably pull better pussy than this. But if either of us made $1.8 billion or we're worth $20 billion and had this like exclusive penthouse in the Bahamas to just use as a fuck den, I swear we could do better than this.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Right?
What the fuck is that? Wait.
Yeah. He was dating her.
So... this is just like a bang bitch? This isn't like
She was like the VP. She was like running Alameda or something.
All right, I was going to say, so she had to be somewhere like in this, right?
She's a moron.
Well, she doesn't, she looks like somewhere between really smart and really dumb.
Yeah, yeah. That's a great way to put it.
Yeah, she's either the dumbest genius or the smartest tardo out there.
Let's see if I can find her name, and maybe you can pull it up really quick for other people to see that don't know. It's Ellison something.
I mean, if it's a convenience thing, right? If this was like the company, the team down there, your CFO, your CEO, your whatever chief laundry officer, whatever she was.
She was the CEO of Alameda Research. Her name is Caroline Ellison, Ellison. I know you know how to spell that, but.
Sweet Caroline.
Yeah, she must have sucked one hell of a dick.
Like I said, it's just a proximity thing, perhaps.
Yeah, but you couldn't walk out to the beach in the Bahamas and find someone tenfold hotter than that.
Well, I'm sure you could.
I mean, come on, man.
I'm sure you could.
I guarantee we could walk down to the fucking end of the street and find someone much hotter than that.
Well, yeah, that's true.
You and I could do that anytime we want.
It gets worse.
Oh, fuck's sakes. She almost looks better there.
You think than the other one?
Yeah, I don't know. This one.
There's just no excuse for that.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
Yeah, that's the picture I showed Troy. For those of you watching us on YouTube.
I pulled her up. Yeah, there's just nothing even remotely appealing about that.
No, it's like she's going out of her way to be frumpy and ugly.
Right. In her defense.
Yeah, but he's got the wallet on his side.
So if she's got money.
Yeah, because she was blowing him. He put her in charge of this fucking company.
Well,
she has no business running.
Was she running it because she was blowing him, or is she blowing him because she was running it?
I think she
was
blowing him, and he just
chicken and the egg situation we got going on.
Either way.
Yeah, I mean,
I saw an interview with her, and she was just like, "Oh my god, she's kind of a fucking dipshit."
Awesome.
Yeah.
Perfect. They're a match made in heaven.
Yeah. He reportedly bristled earlier this month, over rampant speculation on whether he and other company executives were engaged in a polyamorous lifestyle. So that is what? Unlimited fuck partners?
Yeah.
Polyamorous, basically?
You're banging. Yep.
Which, whatever.
Polyamorous, I believe.
Do you?
Multiple partners.
Yeah. Sam has criticized media inquiries about his love life during a November 16th phone call with crypto influencer Tiffany Fong. The problem is that at the end of the day, their metric is clicks. That's what they need to get, and it's fine. It is what it is. But what it means is that a boring story won't sell, so they're going to be trying to ask me like the most provocative possible questions. We as a society have, in my humble opinion, have spent enough time this week trying to figure out whether anyone living in Albany was polyamorous. He added, I feel like I've answered that question a lot, and the answer is too boring for people to, believe. Is it?
Was the answer no?
No. I don't believe so.
Well, then I guess it's probably not too boring for people to believe.
Yeah. And how about we decide what's too boring?
How about we, yeah.
Coin...
And who gives a shit, in all honesty?
No, I know.
Did you steal billions of dollars here, buddy? Let's figure this part out.
Don't
and where'd this
really
money go?
care where your dick is going?
No. But, to your point, do better. Jesus Christ.
Right, right.
You can afford real punani.
Yeah.
Buy it.
Yeah. I mean, you might not like...
Could you imagine if she's just got the golden pussy? And it is just the most perfect thing in the world.
But you know that's bullshit. You've been with probably 2,000 women in your lives.
Oh, my God, don't say
fine.
that. Come
3
on.
women,
No,
whatever.
right.
Somewhere between 3 and 2,000 women. Is that fair?
That's fair.
Okay. You know that the golden pussy experience doesn't exist. For the most part.
For the most part.
I mean, now, are there some
It's
that
not all
try...
created equal.
Are there some that try harder than others? And we've all run into the fucking super... soaking one that feels like you're just walking through a jungle nude.
Oh yeah, okay,
you know what I mean?
Sure.
Where it's like, Jesus Christ, how wide is this hallway? Like we've all run into that thing,
hello.
right? But for the most part,
Right.
Have you ever run into the super tight one too?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Right.
That's a nightmare too. That's a real problem. I mean, you can make it work. I'm not saying you can't make it work, but...
All right, moving on.
I didn't ask for names. What's the matter with you?
This is not news related.
So, we as a society, blah, 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 spent enough time trying to figure this out. I feel like I've answered that. CoinDesk reported that Bankman-Fried was part of a cabal of roommates. Okay. Who ran FTX and its sister crypto trading firm, Alameda Research, from a luxury penthouse in the Bahamas. CoinDesk stated that the roommates are or used to be paired up in romantic relationships with each other. In particular, Sam was romantically involved with Caroline Ellison, the former CEO of Alameda Research. That's now shuttered as well. He later confirmed the two had dated, but indicated they were not currently in a relationship. Recently resurfaced Tumblr posts written by Ellison described a foray into poly. When I first started my foray into poly, I thought of it as a radical break from my trad past. Traditional past?
Yeah, that's
right.
Oh God, fucking
trad past, man.
Oh God, I want to punch her.
Yeah, I do too.
Right.
She's got a very punchable face.
Yeah, a very bangable box apparently.
Yeah. Well, for this dude. But TBH, to be honest, I've come to decide the only acceptable style of poly is best characterized as something like Imperial Chinese harem. FTX's former in-house performance coach, George Lerner, downplayed the situation, told the New York Times the doomed platform's leaders were undersexed, if anything.
That doesn't surprise me either.
Right.
You had this at your disposal and just shit it away.
Yeah, but there was a lot of reports about this being like a fuck den and everybody just banged whoever.
Wow.
Which sounds horrible to me.
Sex sells.
It's true. That's true.
Right. You can make it out into something. Just saying that it was poly makes you want to go there. Doesn't mean they were actually doing it like on the reg.
And she's the one that said it.
Yeah.
She said that, not in a Tumblr post. You know, so there's reason for people to pick that up and ask a lot more questions. And if Sam Brinkman-Fried was smart, he'd go to Caroline and go, "Hey, bitch, would you? We're linked here. How about you don't go and talk about a cabal of whores at the fucking business house.
You could be polyamorous and be celibate. Doesn't mean that you're actually even fucking. You could be with multiple people in a relationship, but not actually fucking.
Yeah, but I mean, I suppose that would be true of anybody in relationships with anybody.
Exactly.
Friends.
Right. Yeah.
But I think if you're talking polyamorous, you're specifically speaking of romantic partners, right? What else?
Relationship doesn't mean that they're banging.
So I'm in a polyamorous relationship with Tooch and you and my parents.
Well, no, that's a friendship. That's a different story. If you were dating, I'm just saying. But there's celibate relationships. You could be dating somebody and not having sex.
Well, that's a shitty relationship.
Didn't say it was good. Just saying it's a thing.
And that's still polyamorous. So you could have multiple people you're dating but not sleeping with. Is that what you're saying?
I do believe that's true. Yeah.
Really?
Technically, I mean, I think polyamorous is just in. I don't think it defines. I don't think the amorous part. Poly is multiple. Amorous, I don't think means fucked.
I think that's it. That's what the insinuation is, right?
The insinuation and definition are two different things. That's all I'm saying. Is that it doesn't automatically doesn't mean the same thing. Yes, characterized by or involved in the practice of engaging in multiple romantic and usually sexual relationships with the consent of the other people involved.
Okay,
right. That's fine.
Basically means you're fucking multiple people and the other people don't mind that you're fucking other people.
Almost all relationships are sexual.
Right.
I mean, romantic relationships.
So that what you're talking about would be the way oddball example of like someone in multiple relationships with each other but not having sex.
That's like saying somebody's married and they're just fucking all the time. Because married people fuck.
Well, I think dating people fuck a lot. Married people, not so much.
Well, I'm just saying.
I mean, if we're just doing traditionally, like what you think of as, and these are young people. These are people in their 20s and early 30s.
Yeah.
So they're probably getting their fuck on a lot, especially if they're sharing a big penthouse suite in the Bahamas.
Especially if this chick found somebody that's going to do her. Yeah, she's going to take it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're into this? Okay, cool.
By the way, I found this very believable. I don't know if it's true. I don't know that you'll ever find out. But his explanation for the funding during the midterms.
Okay.
He made several other bold claims during his conversation with Fong, including an unverified assertion that he made massive dark money donations to Republican lawmakers during the midterms. He said he kept the GOP donations under wraps to prevent media blowback. The reason was not for regulatory reasons. It's because reporters freak the fuck out if you donate to Republicans. They're all super liberal, and I didn't want to have that fight.
So we pay everybody off.
Exactly. So there's two ways of looking at a statement.
Right now, I can send this money this way real loud and proud, and I got to send this money real dark and quiet.
Right.
And when that changes, then this money becomes real loud and proud, and this money becomes real dark and quiet.
All done for the same reason, so that people kiss your ass no matter what. Again,
buying favor.
Buying favor, whether it's you're buying the media or you're buying politicians, both very, very easy to do if you have the funds. And at one point, he was worth a reported $23 billion. So when you're talking about $39 million, let's round up to 40, given to the Democrats in the midterms. Now, if he's saying another $40 million under the radar went to the Republicans.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
I'd like to just to be able to say that you did it is one thing. To actually show it is another.
I agree with you, but I wouldn't be surprised because for $80 million, he buys equal support on both sides.
Yeah.
Who's going to prosecute him when he's fucking around? Who's going to come after him? Nobody. Nobody. You bought them all.
I would like to see that money trail. That's
I would too. That's why the first sentence says, including an unverified assertion that he made massive dark money donations. So are the Republicans going to come out and go, yeah, if I'm being honest, he gave me $2 million bucks?
Sure.
Not likely. So we may never know. But it wouldn't shock me because he's not wrong about that.
Wait a minute. I mean, shouldn't all political contributions shouldn't they all be trackable?
There's tons of loopholes where you
you
can get around those.
For $40 million, get around them? Yeah, you want to throw, a couple $100 here and there, one thing. For $40 million,
I don't know how they do it. Maybe you give 40 people $1 million with instructions to support X people.
That's still $1 million donation. I would think would come with a fucking label on it.
Yeah, probably. But I know there are ways to rig the system because it benefits the system.
Yeah,
the system wants you to believe that an in-kind donation up to $1,000 and nothing more.
Yeah, but then why would all of Soros's money be all documented? And it's probably not all of it by any stretch. But
his was all documented to the
all
who?
Soros.
Well, Soros, yeah. Soros and Brinkman, Sam, all of the money they gave to the Democrats, they have no need to hide that. That's fully supported by everybody in the media, the elites. So you don't need to hide that. George Soros, there's no way he's given to Republicans. But Sam Brinkman-Fried, I could see that. And dark money, I just know there's a lot of ways around it.
Sure.
And there's a lot of people who are going to turn a blind eye because they want that fucking cash.
Yep.
Give me that cash. It's in their best interest to find those loopholes that they all know exist.
Well, now when this comes out, that this was
maybe
dirty money from a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
Is there any repercussions for that?
So you're saying the donated money? Mm-hmm. If he were to do dark money to Republicans, will you look up the definition of dark money, by the way, how they define it?
If this turns out to be jank money, this guy gets convicted of a Ponzi scheme. What was the big guy in New York? The huge Ponzi scheme. Anyway, the biggest Ponzi scheme guy.
Yeah.
If all that money has to be try to be recovered on some level, right?
Yeah, I would think.
I would think so. What is dark money? Let's see. Oh, of course. Oh, this site can't be reached. Thanks for that. Ironic. Oh, neither can this. Wow. 2 bad links in a row.
Really?
Wow.
Bernie Madoff, by the way.
Madoff. Thank you very much.
Yeah, sorry. It's ridiculous.
No, I don't. I mean, it's like I said, if they show all this money that he stole from people and then gave it to all these, charitable donations, political contributions, whatever.
But I don't know that money. Are they saying that money came out? We should probably do more research on this. Because if he's worth a reported $23 billion and he's pulling that out of his personal money, I don't know, and maybe he was, but legally there's no fucking way you could pull it out of the business of Alameda or FTX and donate $39 million.
So where did that money go?
I have no idea.
Right.
We'll find that out.
So does he really have this money?
This is the problem I have with talking about this story. This is the exact problem because that's a basic fucking question you just asked that I can't answer.
Yeah. Well,
you know what I mean? Like, that's a problem. I don't even know what the fucking guy's accused of. He lost a bunch of money.
Nobody does. That's just it. He got arrested, but there's no.
So arrest
charges.
him, get him to New York, and they were planning on deposing him.
That's why I think
Congress today.
I think there's so much more to this.
The people are pissed because he was supposed to go in front of the Senate or Congress and answer questions today, and they jumped the gun on that. So he's not going to be able to do that. So these politicians are all pissed off. Like, you couldn't wait a fucking day? Really?
Well.
Maybe that's to your point.
Yes, see? Maybe somebody didn't want him doing that.
Yeah.
Maybe something was going to happen. Maybe something was going to be said. Maybe something was going to be disclosed. Maybe a deal was going to be struck. I don't know. The fact that
I don't know.
I think there's a lot of weird circumstances to this story that give me more questions than answers.
Yeah.
I don't think that this was.
Well, if you think these people are going to go quietly, the people that lost tens of millions of dollars each. Now, my guess is most of them can afford to take that hit.
Well,
but they don't like losing money. Rich people do not like losing money.
No.
And
depending on where and how this all goes down, those people can be made whole in other ways, with get their money back from other places, things like that.
Well,
I don't know what
it's
really
kind of
is here.
shitty, though, because Bernie Madoff's victims, I think, have been made almost whole.
Have they?
Yeah. When you get fucked over as a little guy, it's not worth investigating much. Yeah. You typically just lose your shit, and you can't afford to lose your shit. These fucking elitists that were donating to Bernie Madoff year after year, they're high on the hog already. So to go, I don't give a shit if Tom Hanks loses $10 million. I really don't. Yeah. Honestly. I don't give a fuck if Howard Stern loses $10 million.
I do.
Because I don't.
It's because it's the principle of it. I do.
I understand that. But the same principle we're living under, means, oh, we drop everything to bail out the fucking major institutions. We drop everything to bail out the elitist celebrities who lost a few dollars.
Yeah.
But, you uninsured lose fucking half your business, your small business, and there's fuck all you can do. There's no one looking out for you.
Not really. I mean,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they're not going to have a big open investigation because someone broke into your house and robbed $1,000, even though that might have been all the fucking money you had.
Well, that's true, but that's also
for the year.
That's a little different. I mean, that's individual theft as opposed to this large-scale Ponzi scheme thing that Madoff was doing. That was high profile.
Something just feels like, oh, yes, of course. For the elitists, you're willing to jump through all hoops.
Yeah.
And it took years. It took years of investigations. It took years of tracking down. It took years of diligent work to make these fucking rich assholes whole again.
Wow.
Which is the right thing to do. I'm just saying do it on all levels.
Of course.
It's just not worth it.
No, it's not. And I mean, exactly. If somebody losing $1,000, even if that means more to them than somebody losing $10 million, it just doesn't warrant that sort of.
Don't you think, though, $1,000 to a poor, living paycheck to paycheck, $1,000 is more valuable to that person, that individual family, than $10 million is to Tom Hanks?
Yes, it is.
Right?
I don't dispute that at all.
Yeah. That's why I think it's,
Yeah.
that's why it stings.
I also believe right is right and wrong is wrong. I don't think that.
But it's not a level playing field is all.
No,
I think
generally
we're sort of on the same page because I believe right is right, wrong is wrong.
Yeah, but when you're talking about millions and millions and millions of dollars, it doesn't matter where they necessarily came from. And I'm sure that it wasn't all people that could just piss it away. I'm sure there's a lot of people that lost money that were fucking ruined by it too,
yes.
or at least very, very crippled.
When you've got unions that are taking your 401k or whatever and investing it,
right?
And so you've got
that a lot more than just the big name people,
and
that
that's
have it.
fair. Can you imagine if EPD took your money and went, this guy's murdering it in New York, whatever, right? Investing it in Bernie Madoff, and then the thousands and thousands and thousands of electricians.
So our pensions are all gone.
Your pensions are all fucked.
Yeah.
So to that I understand.
Yeah.
The people that get the headlines are the celebrities, though.
Of course.
And I don't care if Tom Hanks and Rita are made whole.
No, not really. But it's the big picture of it all. I want everybody to be made whole. Wrong is wrong.
Yeah.
And you heard it here first.
First one to say it?
That Sam Bankman-Fried
fucks ugly chicks.
Didn't hang himself.
Fair enough. I think you're right.
Yeah. Hey, the holidays are here.
Are they?
They're fucking right around the corner, man. Our friends at Zott Ford and the dealsandthed.com have the perfect gift for you and all your loved ones on your list. Not only will they have a healthy selection of new vehicles in stock and ready to go home with you today, but they also have holiday cash, making these the best deals of the year. But as Santa knows, Zott's jolly inventory won't last long, so the sooner you get in there, the better your selection. And when the holidays are gone, so is the once-a-year holiday cash. But if you decide to custom order a new Ford instead of driving one off the lot, you can lock in that holiday cash, plus get a $1,000 rebate and 3.9% financing. So go see Santa's little elves at Zott Ford and Holly, where they make buying and leasing simple, fun, fast, and easy, and get the gift that keeps on giving, that brand new Ford of your dreams. See details and surf their jolly inventory at dealsandthed.com and tell them TDC sent you.
The Department of Energy is no longer employing Sam Brinton.
Oh, no.
They fired the non-binary guy?
Just for a little oopsie at the luggage counter?
Who knew?
Oh.
Didn't even realize I stole someone else's. Sam Brinton is no longer a DOE employee, the Department of Energy said in a statement. By law, the Department of Energy cannot comment further on personal matters. An arrest warrant was issued for Brinton late last week for grand larceny with value between $1,200 and $5,000 for stealing luggage at the Harry Reid International Airport. Investigators said that a white male adult wearing a T-shirt with a large rainbow-colored atomic nuclear symbol design was seen on security camera footage taking the woman's bag before leaving the airport.
Oh, he's a gay bomb.
Yeah. Brinton demonstrated several signs of abnormal behavior.
Or is that an F-bomb?
What? An F-bomb or an N-bomb?
Well, not an N-bomb.
Well, nuclear.
Yeah.
N-bomb.
F-bomb.
F-bomb for vague.
Oh, jeez.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Did I hear something about that there's another case?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Good. Sorry.
Habitual, they call that.
Yeah.
Brinton demonstrated several signs of abnormal behavior, and this is where his entire story eats the whole bag of dicks. Gobbles them up, swallows them, and digests them.
Okay, he's got more time for spanking and fistings these days.
Yeah, perfect. Absolutely. Big fan of that. Several signs of abnormal behavior while taking the victim's luggage, which are cues suspects usually give off when committing luggage theft. Specifically, Britton pulled the victim's luggage from the carousel and examined the tag.
Okay.
Then placed it back on the carousel, looking in all directions for anyone who might be watching or might approach. Pulling it back off the carousel and demonstrating the same behavior by looking around before walking away with it quickly. Britton, only having checked one piece of luggage, which Britton had already claimed from the carousel, had no reason to be examining and taking another piece of luggage. So, this is the story in Vegas. This is not the one in Minneapolis where he didn't check a bag.
Right.
So we'll get to those details. I just want to be clear so you understand.
Okay, right. Yeah,
I knew that would be confusing.
I saw that there was 2 separate incidents. That's what I was...
Yeah. Britton caused a stir for his... among Americans for his role, obviously, for dressing in drag and boasting online about his puppy role play fetish. Came under fire last month for stealing a woman's luggage in Minneapolis. According to the complaint, Britton traveled without a check bag, indicating he had no purpose to claim the bag after landing. He returned to Minneapolis airport 2 days later on September 18th and flew back to D.C. with the same bag. Records and video surveillance show the suitcase belonged to a female passenger. According to a report, she notified law enforcement that her bag and contents inside, valued at $2,300, had gone missing in the baggage claim area on the same day Britton allegedly took the luggage. Nearly 3 weeks later, the complaint alleges video surveillance footage from Dulles International in Virginia captured Britton returning from Europe with the bag on October 9th. Authorities contacted him, said, any chance you took anything that didn't belong to you? He said, not that I know of. Right. He later admitted he took the bag. If I had taken the wrong bag, I'm happy to return it, but I don't have any clothes for another individual. That was my clothes when I opened the bag.
I know that statement is so odd.
Wouldn't you know? They're on to me. They're calling me to ask me if I took something. Shouldn't you at that point realize, the jig is up?
But just that statement, just the verbiage of that statement is so weird and confusing and not even like in a clever way.
No.
Like, it just doesn't make sense.
No.
I don't have clothes for another individual. The clothes inside that were mine.
By the way, they, of course, were not his, and that clothing inside that luggage has never been found. So he didn't return that clothing.
So is that so then now it's his clothes inside of that bag.
Right.
So they can say, is that somebody else's bag? I don't know. These are my clothes.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess that makes sense.
Does it?
Well, it doesn't. No, but it makes
that
statement
is flimsy as shit.
It makes that statement make more sense. You know. Well, 3 weeks later, when you come back and be like, no, here's my fucking strap on, here's my paddles, here's my leash. This is all mine. This is my dress.
Double-ended dildo.
Yeah, these are all mine.
Yeah.
So is there another bag? I don't know how it could be somebody else's bag if this is all my stuff.
It's all my stuff. If I had taken the wrong bag, I'm happy to return it. He called authorities 2 hours later and apologized for not being completely honest. How about you were not honest even a little bit?
Right.
It has nothing to do with completely. It wasn't a white lie.
No, it was.
You lied your dick off, I guess.
I'm sure that's still there, yeah.
Yeah. Adding, he took the bag thinking it was his in a state of exhaustion. The complaint alleges Britton realized it wasn't his bag after opening it at the hotel, at which point he got nervous and didn't know what to do.
Chuck it out the window.
How about you call the airport? If you made an honest mistake, you grabbed what you thought was your bag, ignoring all the camera footage of your shady as shit behavior.
Right.
That's the first thing I'd be thinking of. Fuck, they're going to have me. Oh, God, I pulled the tag off and threw it away. Shit. I put it back on the carousel, looked around a bunch of ways. Like, I would remember doing all that. And then I go, oh, fuck, they're totally onto me. I must have looked like an asshole in my fucking rainbow shirt.
Like, I had a couple cocktails, the old ambient excuse. I was just in a delusional. I used to have a bag just like that. I don't know what I did. I think I accidentally took the wrong bag.
Yeah, but my clothes were in it, so must have been mine. But they weren't, and you never return the clothes.
Well, that's the two. I'm saying 2 hours later. Realizes this at the hotel.
And by the way, if you took the wrong bag, you got nervous and you didn't know what to do. How about this? How about you call the airport, report the mistake, and then bring it back immediately? How about you don't take the case to fucking Europe with you?
Yeah.
How about you don't ignore it and dump out all those clothes and then fill it with your own clothes, and then that women's clothes goes missing. How about that? How about we do that for starters? At a bare minimum, as soon as you got home, you would realize, if this was an honest mistake, that, oh, fuck, I have someone else's bag. I would feel horrible, and the first call I would make immediately would be to that airport and go,
Yep.
You're not going to believe this. I feel like a total dick. I accidentally grabbed the wrong bag and rolled right out of your airport. I just got home and opened it up, and I don't recognize a damn thing in here.
No.
What do I do? I guarantee the airport's gotten that call before
100 times.
and they will tell you exactly what to do.
The problem is that none of that's true because he took it intentionally, took it maliciously, didn't have a bag, didn't accidentally grab the wrong one.
Yeah.
It was 100% intentional and malicious the whole time.
Right.
So there was no moment of, oh no, this isn't my bag.
Right. Of course.
No, there was, what's this bitch got?
Yeah, but he's still spinning that excuse, which is why I'm addressing it. Like, oh, if that statement was true, there's a very, very easy way out of this. No. We don't throw people in jail for an honest mistake. You cannot claim an honest mistake 3 weeks after the fact, and then you don't even return what was in it.
Right.
And then all your shady behavior around it to begin with. No, dude, it doesn't work like that. By the way, the charges he faces in both states are felonies. Okay?
Yeah, grand larceny, I would assume.
If convicted, he could face up to 10 years in prison and a $10,000 fine in Nevada, 5 years, and $10,000 in Minnesota. Here's what you need to understand about this.
If you're going to steal something, steal it in Minnesota.
Well, if you're going to steal something, don't do it on federal fucking grounds.
Yeah.
Dummy. Because federal means you serve all that time. You don't get out early. And I think it's a minimum year in Nevada. Up to 5 years, but a minimum year.
He won't see us a second.
Probably not. But these are federal offenses.
Yep.
You commit a crime at a fucking airport. It's the reason they could make us all wear masks in the airplane when you didn't have to do it anywhere else. It's because it's controlled by the federal government. So the federal government can make those decisions. Well, the airport, federal aviation law, right?
Yeah.
The feds run the airport. So he's facing a real problem. The other issue I have with this is nice job making your community look even fucking crazier.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Most people already think of the trans community, the fucking non-binary freaks, the guy that wants to walk around with four guys on leashes with dog masks on.
Yeah, did anybody really think this guy was all there?
No, but he's got this hugely... Dude, do you realize what his clearance level would be?
Yeah.
When you're dealing with spent energy and nuclear waste?
You're talking with the caliber of person to be in a position like that. You wonder what kind of decisions they make on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
You know, what... It's scary. I mean, I understand people do stupid shit. And in the grand scheme of things, this is not some crazy, horrific crime.
Dude, what if you find out he's done this in 50 airports?
And he might have, and he probably has.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't just a first offense.
I mean, what wouldn't you think, too? You've got this high-profile role. You're constantly in the media. You're a constant fucking distraction to the government. People are laughing at your position. Don't you think,
just being
that picture of
bald
him and
guy
fucking,
walking around with lipstick, I would imagine that people are just staring at you all the time.
Yes.
No matter what.
Yeah.
Even they don't even know who you are.
Right.
So, yeah, you might want to stop being all snatchy grabby.
Yeah. And the fact of that picture he took with Rachel Levine, Rick Levine, whatever, you make the government a fucking laughingstock. I'm sorry. I know you're credentialed as shit. You just do. The world is laughing at America going, what are they doing?
And just
you guys have an opportunity to represent your community. The least you can do, Pete Buttigieg, Rick Levine, Rachel Levine, Sam Brinton, is kill it.
Yep.
Kill it.
You owe it.
You owe it to your communities. Yeah. You owe it to go, see, I told you. The fact that someone's into some weird fetish play doesn't mean they're not a nuclear physicist fully capable of performing these job duties.
Yep.
We've knocked open some doors here. We've broken some glass ceilings, however you want to put it. But you owe that.
We chose you.
We
for
chose
this.
you, handpicked,
Yes.
first one.
Do it.
And you can't fucking not steal luggage from airports.
You're essentially unfireable.
Yeah.
And you managed to fuck that
How
up.
exactly? How did you manage to go from an unfireable job because of the nonsense you do on a daily and brag about, and you found a way to get fucking fired?
Yeah.
Nice job.
Well done, sir.
Very well done. And guess how this came about? How they pieced this together in Vegas.
I know.
So, he posted a selfie on Instagram, may have been the final piece of the puzzle linking that second airport's luggage theft to President Soups and battled Deputy Assistant Secretary for Spent Fuel and Waste Disposition. Las Vegas police were struggling to determine who the identity of this person, who was clearly visible on surveillance from early July, walking away with a woman's hard-sided suitcase. However, they caught a break when reports of Britain's alleged involvement in a similar luggage theft case in Minnesota began to circulate nationwide. When the Vegas police officer noticed the photos of Britain bore a striking resemblance to the as-yet un-ID'd face in the surveillance videos, he decided to check out the official's social media. As luck would have it, Britain had posted a selfie to Instagram on the date of the theft, and in that selfie was wearing the same shirt as the person on the video from the airport. On his page, I located a post dated July 6, 22, same day of the theft. The post is a selfie picture of Britton, who appeared to be in an airport. He was clearly wearing the same exact white T-shirt with a large rainbow-colored atomic nuclear symbol design on the front. Do you own anything that's not rainbowed?
Probably not.
Some of these people are just getting a little out of control with the whole rainbow world.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
It's like my ex. I don't think my ex has anything that doesn't have a cross or Jesus on
same
it.
Same fucking
like,
thing.
Do they even make that many clothes?
Right?
So, yeah. Especially that sticks out like a sore thumb. Big rainbow F-bomb.
Yeah. It's just hilarious. How out of touch and
Yeah.
clueless.
Well, I'm glad that justice is being served.
We'll see if justice is served.
He's at least been fired
I think you're right.
from the position, but I don't think anything's actually going to happen. I think this is just going to quietly go away.
Yeah.
And the feds are just going to have a little talk with Sam. You just go back to your fisting and stop stealing stuff, okay?
What a piece of shit. I'm sorry. What you had, the freak level was off the charts with this motherfucker.
Yep.
Off the charts, okay? As far as like normal, everyday Americans go, your lifestyle, sir, do you. I don't give a fuck.
Doesn't even compute to a lot of people.
Doesn't even compute. In fact, it's freaky as shit, and most people don't trust it. Most people think you're a fucking weirdo, okay? That's how most people see you. You had a fucking duty.
Yep.
You had a job, dude.
You had an opportunity.
You had an opportunity. No, you had a responsibility.
That's true, yes.
You know, yes, you had an opportunity, but you more so had a responsibility. And I hope that whole community goes, the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Really?
You're out. Sorry, buddy.
Really?
Putting out your tiki torch. You're off Gay Island.
Yeah. You're off fucking non-binary island or whatever the hell you are.
Hey, this part of the show is brought to you by Janet Davis Cleaners. Woodward and Berkeley. Family owned since 1938, and they offer free pickup and delivery.
Yeah, the best.
They are. They only use the best environmentally friendly cleaning methods, meaning it's guaranteed odor free. They have an intact button guarantee, means no broken buttons for you or I. This is a full service dry cleaners, casual clothes, work clothes, wedding gowns, as well as sheets, comforters, duvet covers, tablecloths, and much, much more. Visit janetdaviscleaners.com or call them at 248-543-0340. Mention TDC, that's us, and get $20 off your first home pickup.
We love them. Call them, please. It'll change your laundry lifestyle. Very good. Very professional. Just awesome.
Absolutely.
Mike Leach, Mississippi State coach, head coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a sad story.
Yeah, it's a shame.
61 years old, drops dead of a massive heart attack.
Yeah, the Widowmaker.
Was that what it was? I mean,
know,
it
just
usually is.
Essentially.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess yes.
Yeah, yeah. Leach, in his third year at Mississippi State's head coach, I don't know enough about him. I know he's one of the guys that did the air raid. You know,
it was
like
Texas Tech.
Texas Tech.
And then, where else?
Mississippi State.
Washington State.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he never had like the big premier, Alabama job or Michigan job. It was kind of second.
But you know what I heard?
level.
I didn't realize too is that I think I'd have to look it up. This is just off the cuff, but that 3 of the top 6 individual passing years for a quarterback are under his tutelage.
Really?
Yeah.
So, who would have been in his?
Through Texas Tech, I mean, you're talking about.
Mahomes.
I don't know if he had, but he didn't have Mahomes. Didn't Kingsbury have Mahomes? Cliff.
No.
Kingsbury?
He had the Arizona quarterback. Cliff Kingsbury had Murray.
Yeah, but he was there more than like 2 years.
I don't think Cliff Kingsbury had
Let's
Mahomes. I suppose maybe.
I don't know. Whatever it was, and it's who knows with the Texas or the Texas Techs of the world.
Definitely came on the map under him. Texas Tech kind of blew up.
Yeah. Let's see. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Just a side note. But when you say like he didn't have the big programs, but he definitely left an impact.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. It's not funny, but school reported he was having a personal health issue, and then reports came out that he had a massive heart attack, and then he was flown to a medical center from his home, and a lot of people were starting to say that he died, and they got really offended at that. Like, don't listen to these erroneous reports that he died, and blah, blah, blah. And then it's like 5 hours later, he's dead.
Womp, womp.
So, I don't know. It sounds like a really neat guy, though, that was like a true genius.
Okay.
Loved football, but he was famous for his press conferences and stuff where he loved talking pop culture with people.
Yeah.
He loved talking about other shit besides football. And he'd go out of his way to do that. He's talking about once a fan ran onto the field and pulled down his pants during a 2017 Washington State win over Stanford in 2017, and he took the podium and was like, God, I miss streakers.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So he was at Texas Tech from 2000 to 2009. Okay. So he wouldn't have had Mahomes. Mm-mm. Mahomes is after 2009 for sure. But
Josh Heupel, Mark Dalton. Let's see. No, this is not all. It's terrible the way they put this together. They're like his quarterbacks, and then they put a bunch of other garbage.
Can you give us a
there.
1 to 10 list, please?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you he had. I bet you he had Mahomes.
2000 to 2009, he was at Texas Tech. Mahomes was drafted until 2016, probably.
Oh, that's all he was there?
Yeah, 2000 to 2009, they said. There's a couple names, and they seemed much older to me.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
No, it does not.
It does not. I mean, neither of us know enough about him, but he's a good coach. I'm absolutely familiar with his coaching. I know him by face and name.
Right.
But it's sad. Anytime anyone goes down, I do have a story here about the University of Texas men's basketball coach, Chris Beard, who was let go.
Okay.
New details have emerged last night over the alleged incident that led to his arrest. Beard was arrested after. Did you hear this story, by the way?
No.
Okay. Beard was arrested after the Austin police responded to a disturbance hotshot. I like that term.
Okay.
So this is a disturbance where incidents are in progress. Mm-hmm. So they're an immediate threat to life and or public safety, i.e. shooting, stabbings, rapes, riots.
Yep.
I'm not going to say that Mr. Beard is definitely wrong or that he's, I'm not trying to defend Mr. Beard.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to be on record as saying that.
Yeah.
Domestic violence on any level is bad. Very, very bad.
Definitely.
Right?
Usually.
Never very good, right? That being said, things could have been handled differently, which would have possibly not led to the domestic incident.
It's usually how that goes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So these new details.
Coming out? All right.
I'm just saying, I don't know how you'll feel about this, but part of me goes, what'd you expect, man?
Yeah,
how many times are you going to push before?
Sometimes you got to smack a bitch.
I mean, sometimes you got to remind the hen who the rooster is.
Exactly.
So Beard and his fiance were having relationship issues.
All right.
During a heated conversation, he snapped and became super violent, according to Beard's fiance.
Of course, that's what she said.
The incident began after Beard refused to communicate with her because he was mad at her, and when he came home, he went to the guest room in the house.
Won't you talk to me? Nope.
She went into the guest room to check on him. I bet.
That's exactly what she did. I was worried about him.
Yeah, sure you were. Okay, fine, even if we believe that. So at this point, there's a dispute going on for whatever. He's like, I'm not doing that. I'm walking into the house. I'm going to the guest room. I'm not going to engage. I'm going to go solo.
Been there, done that.
Yep, right?
Yeah.
Who hasn't? We've all been there. And the last thing you want is that bitch waltzing in the room.
Yep.
Let me cool down. Give me a moment so I don't fucking put your teeth through the back of your head. Some would say.
Seems fair.
Yeah.
Reasonable.
Seems like the good thing to do.
You would hope.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
So she went in the guest room to check on him. He was laying on the bed, twirling a pair of reading glasses in his hands when she grabbed them and broke them.
Okay. Yep. There's strike one. Or strike two,
Strike
actually.
two.
Yeah.
So you just went in to check on him and
Yeah.
felt the need to grab the glasses out of his hand and snap them.
Okay. We're off to a good start.
Yeah. Things quickly escalated from there. Bet they did.
Oh, did you get a reaction? Is clearly what you were going for there, bitch. You got the reaction you were hoping for.
Did you get a reaction? Oh, I'm sorry.
I bet you did.
Who
Yeah.
couldn't have seen that coming?
Right? Oh my God. Why are you bouncing my head off the wall?
Beard went to the main bedroom where he slapped the glasses she was wearing off her face.
All right.
Okay.
Eye
Yep.
for an eye.
Eye for an eye.
Tit for a tit. Yeah. You could have taken them off and spun them in your hand, and I would have broke them. You chose to have them on your face. That's
Yeah.
on you.
So I smacked them off your fucking pretty little
Yeah.
face.
You made this game, not me.
When the two were supposedly laying in bed together.
This is after?
Yeah, it's a little weird.
They getting some makeup sex, that just dirty fucking
Dirty,
hate
filthy
sex.
girl.
Oh, fucking bitch, I'm gonna fucking go it through your back.
When the two were supposedly laying in bed together, she attempted to retrieve her glasses, and she claims that was when she was thrown off the bed. She attempted to gather her things, but she couldn't see because she didn't have her glasses now.
Oh, plus she's blind.
She claims that he stood behind her and put his arm around her neck.
Yeah.
She did not feel safe after he choked me, threw me off the bed, but bit me, bruises all over my leg, throwing me around and going nuts.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of that I approve of.
No, clearly not.
Especially
no,
the
no.
biting and throwing. And,
Yep. Did Senior Beard have any marks or issues on him? by
I don't know.
chance?
He hasn't been quoted.
No.
So I'm not sure.
Squeaky wheel.
When asked by law enforcement if his choking her impeded her breathing, she was like, yeah.
I think that's the definition of choking.
Yeah.
He wasn't hugging me.
Yes, I could not breath. He did it for probably like 5 seconds.
Oh, boy.
So he got in a little chokehold. 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, and then he let it go.
Yeah.
When Beard was
Nobody
in,
died from 5 seconds of choking.
no,
Never.
no. When Beard was interviewed by police, he said that he had audio recordings that indicated that that he was not the primary aggressor. When police asked if he was willing to share those recordings, nah. That doesn't bolster your case, sir.
Well, no, not necessarily. But I'm also not just going to pony that up necessarily right now. We'll see how this plays out.
Where do you think this could have gone? Like, look, if it got to the point where he's throwing her off the bed and
Yeah, and I mean,
that all sucks.
Nobody
And
was there.
bitter
Nobody
and-
was there. Nobody knows exactly what happened.
Right.
Nobody knows the words that were used. Nobody knows exactly what. I'm already calling bullshit on this whole, I went in to go check on him.
Yeah.
No, you
No,
went
you
in there to fight. Don't
Yeah.
fucking lie.
Exactly.
Okay? I mean, let's
100%.
we're going to be real. Let's be real. Don't
Yes.
you get to lie about your side and then you maybe be truthful about him and
100%,
maybe lie.
that's right.
But if you're going to lie about your side, it's going to make me question what you're lying about.
Yeah.
Right? If don't give me, I was just standing there and he slapped me.
How do you go from this sentence? I was just going in there to check on him. And then I saw him twirling his glasses. And how do we go from just going in to check on him?
Right.
Going in to check on him means, honey, are you okay?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about making dinner. Are you going to eat with
To
me or ignore
snatching
me?
his glasses and breaking them.
Breaking them.
Yeah.
So if you
And
ask me,
and it's not like I went in to check on him and he snapped at me. Fuck off, cunt! Go make me a sandwich.
yeah, punch me in
so
the
I
face.
snapped his glasses.
And pushed me from behind as I was exiting the door.
No, just he was twiddling them and it pissed me off. This little cocky little fucking glass, fucking twirling.
She doesn't even say that. Like I
know.
saw
No,
him
I said
twiddling
it.
those glasses, and
Yeah,
I just
exactly.
got fire in my soul. And
I said it.
Yeah.
because I know what happened.
well, if he's just sitting there, I mean, what is he's just doing this or
Sure,
something?
whatever.
Looking down. I don't know what he's doing, but
Nope.
what you don't do in that situation, you've got someone clearly pissed off, okay? And someone much bigger than you, much stronger than you, sweetheart. I don't know how badass you think you are, but when you have a man, an actual fucking grown man, and he's going to give you the silent treatment for a little bit, that's a lot better than kicking your fucking head in.
Than giving you the fucking 5-finger treatment.
Right.
Yeah. So let it happen. Let it cool down.
Yes, to me, we always cool down. Cooler heads prevail. That's a saying for a reason.
Yeah.
And by him going in there, not the most adult move. Most people would say sitting down and having a conversation would be better.
Not necessarily, depending on the time and the temperature.
I agree with you.
It absolutely may not be the right decision at the time.
Yes.
So 100% removing yourself. And you don't know, she could be just one of those. Just one of those. You know what I'm talking about.
True.
So there is no communicating. There is no rational conversations. I'm not saying it is or it isn't. But I'm not just going to automatically... Again, I'm not going to say there's never, justification for putting hands on a woman.
Yeah.
But there's never a justification for putting hands on a woman if you're going to put them on you first.
Yeah.
Women, you want to square up, then take your fucking whipping.
Yeah.
You want to throw hands, you want to start slapping, you want to start doing stuff like that, then game on.
Look, human beings are human beings. I have never laid my hand on a woman in my life. I've never pushed one, punched one. Well, I pushed my mom when I was 12 or 13.
I slapped my mom.
Yeah.
But she slapped me first.
Okay, well,
slap.
Shit,
Slapped
you
her
were
right
a
back.
kid, right?
Yeah, absolutely. No, this was like a couple weeks ago.
My mom was being cuntish, in my opinion. She was probably 100% right at the time, and I pushed her into the wall. I've told this story before, and it was like immediately I was like, oh, fuck, what did I just do? Immediately came to my senses, and it was like, I'm a dead man. I touched my fucking dad's wife.
Yep.
I'm no longer the son of this woman. It's my dad's wife. And my dad is not going to take that.
No.
And it was like, go to your room. And it was like, wait till your dad gets home. One of those moments.
Yeah, waiting for death.
And I fucking sat there, and my dad came in, and it was the fucking coolest he's ever been. And he sat down on the bed. I'm sorry for those of you who've heard this story before. Sat down on the bed, and he said, Mike, I don't care how angry you get. I don't care how right you are. I don't care what the story is. You never put your hands on a woman, ever, under any circumstances. You're not grounded. You're not in trouble. I understand this happened with your mother today, but you need to fully understand, as you're growing up as a man, you cannot put your hands on a woman.
Great lesson. Way to go, Bob.
Yeah, and it fucking stuck with me to this day.
Yeah.
And I've never laid hands on a woman. Ever. I'm just not the type. I don't get that angry or like very rarely.
I broke
very,
my sister's
very
ribs once.
Okay. You just sound like an abusive asshole.
She was 3 years older than me. I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I finally was big enough and strong enough to defend
fuck
myself.
that bitch up.
Yeah. I mean, she used to just have her way with me. Fucking finally had enough, and I punched her in the stomach. I wasn't going to punch her in the face, but I had a little sauce behind it. I cracked her rib. And that was the last time she ever fucked with me.
Yeah. Well,
So-
there's easy ways to get around this.
Saying I was right.
No.
But I ain't saying I was wrong.
Kids is a different story.
Right.
They,
Yes,
they
we're
just are.
kids, exactly.
Kids are a different story. Bill Burr does that great bit about some of this stuff where it's like, well, even the NHL has 2 minutes for instigating. You know, they understand that shit just doesn't fall out of a fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
And ass whooping just doesn't fall out of the sky. Where did it go wrong?
Yep.
Can we examine what happened? Can we look at what started it? You know, it's a great fucking bit.
Absolutely.
And it's very true. And just because society agrees that you cannot lay hands on a woman doesn't mean everyone got that message.
Nope.
And doesn't mean some people don't snap differently than other people. So it's in your best interest when the fucking hot-headed coach goes into his room and sits down, you might want to let that one sit. And then if you do go in there, you might not want to rip the glasses out of his hand and snap them. Because whatever's got him pissed enough that he's just pissed enough to fucking avoid your ass for an hour or two before coming out.
You're going to keep poking the bear.
You
and then
keep poking and kicking that bear.
get mad when the bear bites you.
Yeah. Not saying on any level that he's right to go where he did, but shit, we can at least look at the timeline and go, well, I could see where some critical errors were made on both sides.
Sure.
Right? Like, that's pretty easy to see.
Yep.
He shouldn't have reacted like that, but God damn it. Can we acknowledge that it didn't just fall out of the sky?
Can we acknowledge the fact that he reacted?
Yeah. He had quite the reaction.
Right.
All right, let's do a couple of emails and get out of here, T.
Okie dokie.
What do you say that? Do you have another read to do, or are we good?
We're fine. I'll stuff it in somewhere else.
You can do it. You want to?
No, I'll do it. I'll stick it in somewhere else.
All right. TV theme songs. Shit, I should have. I did read this one, but I should have.
Vetted it?
No, I should. Yeah, I should have done some more research on this. I'll read it to you anyways.
I'm not the kind to kiss and tell, but I've been seen with Farrah. It's true, I hired my body out for pay. Hey, hey.
What is that? Is that
Fall Guy?
The Fall Guy. Jesus Christ. Hey, Mike. I agree 100% on the MASH theme. I thought that I didn't know how that would go over. I fucking despise that theme. Every time it came on, it was just fingernails on a chalkboard to me. So I never watched an episode.
Fair.
Because I hated that theme song
You guys
so
are
much.
triggered by something.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It doesn't make sense.
Maybe this email will enlighten us.
I grew up when that show was on TV and hated it then. To this day, have never watched a whole episode. What are your thoughts on the best TV theme songs, regardless of how good the show is? My favorite is "Welcome Back to the Same Old Place." Welcome Back, Cotter.
Welcome back, Cotter. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I'll be honest
hold
with
up
you.
for me.
I never watched that show either.
I think
it was okay. I think I saw a couple episodes, but
Yeah.
that was more of a 70s thing, so I was too young.
Yeah.
So I definitely remember, like, if you threw in Greatest American Hero in the 80s,
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
you know what I mean? Believe it or not,
I'm walking on air. I never thought I could feel so free. Lying awake, nothing in a prayer. Who could it be? Believe it or not, it's just me. That's a good one.
Yeah,
but it's not. It's catchy, but it's not a good one.
Okay.
That's shit. Fall Guy.
Making our way in the world today
takes everything you got. Oh yeah, that's classic.
Is that Cheers?
That's Cheers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cheers theme song.
That's
is
right there.
Fucking awesome.
A-Team holds up for me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Airwolf was a good one too.
No. Different Strokes.
Yeah.
Takes different strokes. It takes different strokes to rule the world.
Yeah.
I didn't hate Facts of Life. And the one for what was the Kirk Cameron show?
Family Ties?
No, that wasn't bad either.
Okay.
Family Ties was Michael J. Fox.
Oh.
No, it was the one with the guy that died, Rob.
A lot of people died.
Yeah, I know. I got a picture with him at the Playboy Mansion. He was
Okay.
the dad, but I think he wrote that theme song,
All right.
"Growing Pains."
Okay. Growing Pains.
Growing
there you
Pains
go. Yeah.
with Kirk Cameron and who was the fucking dad?
Alan Thicke.
Alan Thicke. Yes.
He's dead?
Yeah,
Is he?
he is.
No way.
Yeah, he collapsed after playing hockey with his son. Yeah, it was something nice. You knew that.
I forgot. He was. We partied with him on our honeymoon. He was
Did
on
you
He
really?
was on our cruise. Yeah.
Best porn name ever, Alan Thicke.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
pretty good.
it could be a great one. You partied with Alan Thicke?
Yeah. Fuck yeah. He was on our cruise on our honeymoon.
Yeah, I got a picture with him at the Playboy Mansion during their Halloween party. He was dressed as like a NASCAR driver, I think.
Okay.
So I did the gratuitous, like, automatically going to get tons of like comments and likes on Facebook when he died,
Sure.
and posted the picture of,
Of
me and
course,
him.
yeah.
So,
Oh, I didn't post
I'll
any
take
of the-
that. I'll take that cheap
I
shit.
didn't post any of the pictures of us hanging out with him.
You didn't get any.
Well, of course I do.
Do you do?
Yeah, I have pictures with him.
Well, why didn't you fucking?
Told you. I didn't fucking know he died.
Yeah, he died.
Yeah.
I think he
And
was
I don't
playing-
die for clicks and likes.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
Hey, I
Happens.
admitted at least. I wasn't. I acknowledge.
Yeah. And
So-
they're not on a fucking, they're like a picture. I'd have to take a picture of it.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
developed
yeah.
on film.
Yeah.
You know, that's how old I am.
So, Welcome Back, Cotter is his favorite by John Sebastian. I have it as a song in my MP3 library when it comes in, and it comes up in the play often. Once you disassociate the show from the song, it's a great one. Second choice for me is probably Beretta by Sammy Davis Jr.
All right. Yeah,
I never
that's a
got
good
into
one.
that show, but liked the song when it came on.
Ooh, Magnum is a good one for me. Magnum PI.
I'm sure I know it if I heard it. Chips, did you like Chips?
Chips was pretty good.
Yeah. I kind of remember Chips as being good. Mm-hmm. You know, Cosby Show, I don't think there were lyrics to the Cosby Show.
What was that one?
I don't know.
I can hear it, but
Yeah. Boop. I think, isn't there a lot of like bass line type shit? I know there's a ton. Anyway, I know there's a ton of them out there, but Cheers is up there for me. I think Cheers is such a great one.
Magnum, that had some fucking sauce to it right there. The juice.
Knight Rider was pretty good, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a classic.
Yeah.
It's a good theme song right there.
Yeah.
Ripping out in his Ferrari.
There were great songs in the 80s and 90s.
There was, yeah. They took great pride in that.
Yeah.
Let's see.
You notice they've killed a lot of those theme songs now?
Yeah, you just don't get it.
Because you don't need them. It just usurps a lot of time. Do you have another one?
Yeah. Classic.
What is that, Air Raid or whatever?
Miami Vice.
Oh, Miami Vice.
Yep.
Yeah. Not my wheelhouse.
No, but this one's my this one's right up there for me.
Have the whole place to yourself.
After this.
Just
The good old boys. Never meaning no harm.
It's a great one.
Never meaning no harm.
Beats all you never saw. Been in trouble with the law since the day they was born.
Is this George?
Making my way the only way they know how.
And
That's just a little bit more than the law will allow. Fuck yeah.
That's great.
Oh, it's
great
classic.
stuff.
Yep.
I enjoy listening to the show tremendously and never miss an episode. I also wanted you to know I care about you and Troy and wish you well on your constant road to recovery.
Aw.
From Randy.
Thanks, Randy.
Let's see. Okay, I'll do two more.
All right.
Save the rest for later. This kind of goes, you would kind of mentioned a forgotten story, a story that just kind of disappeared that we haven't heard much about. Earlier in the show, I almost brought this up then. But
Okay.
remember last month when the construction site for the Obama Presidential Library was shut down because a noose was found there? $100,000 reward offered for information relating to who was responsible? Story kind of disappeared, didn't it?
Sure did.
Luke. It's a great, great observation. Luke, that story has gone poof. Mm-hmm. Yeah. For all that, all law enforcement, get all federal law enforcement
$100,000 reward.
$100,000 for a reward.
Yeah.
Someone dropped a piece of rope on the construction site. They shut the whole thing down and brought in hazmat suits.
Yep. Hey, you know what's funny?
It's ridiculous.
We broke a rope pulling wire, and so it's the same thing. It's about a 5-foot piece of rope with a loop on the end of it. Basically a head made onto it. So I sent you the picture weeks ago. It was right after that.
Yeah,
when we did it.
Yep.
I tied it up and I hung it in the stairwell, and I was like trying to get the day off, right?
Yeah, right.
Well, it stayed there forever, and then we pulled off the job, and then we came back, and I walked up the stairs 2 weeks later, and it's still hanging there, right? And I just laughed.
I can't believe this isn't a fucking international incident.
I just laugh at it as I walk up the stairs, right?
Yeah.
So, like an hour later, a guy comes up and he's like, got the rope in his hand. He starts telling me the story about how there's this whole thing about this noose and all this kind of stuff. I was like, yeah, I hung it. I was trying to get out of fucking work. I was like, you fucking kidding me? Yeah. So he started telling me like,
You'd
oh my
be
God,
better off
somebody...
calling in a bomb threat at this
know.
point, T.
I know.
From your own cell phone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That noose one that's going to go down as a fucking hate crime.
Yeah, we need more black guys.
Yeah. Okay, Huntington disease. This is from Doug. First of all, I have to say I love the Ferris State Bulldogs hoodie. I was wearing that the other
Yes,
day
indeed.
on the show. Yes. Our dear friend Tooch, his daughter Jess, who I adore. I've known her since she was 2.
Lovely lady.
And she's awesome. But she was a fucking ball player. Got a better arm than any guy I know.
Mm-hmm.
And she played center field. I believe she was center fielder for Ferris State. So that's the women's
The softball.
softball.
Yep.
Yeah, Tooch grabbed me one of those. I was like, hey, man, next time you're up there watching Jess play, grab me a
Solid.
sweatshirt or something. And he did. I appreciate it. So I'm finally thin enough to wear it again.
There you go.
Which is why I pulled that out and I put it on. And Jess is, I adore Jess. So any way to support her. Of
course.
She's graduated now. It's crazy to think and how fast time flies. Go Bulldogs, he said. Second, Huntington disease. My brother-in-law's mother and brother both died of this terrible disease. I'd never heard of it until before I met him. It's a neurological disorder. It's horrible. You age extremely quick and then you die very young. I've been a listener to Radio for One Studio since the very first episode of Drewcast with that horrible reverb. Yeah, we didn't have anything set up yet. On that great note, keep up the great podcast, T-Roy. You are funny as fuck. You make the show.
Hey.
Fuck off, Doug. Fuck off, Doug.
You just drive it and I throw the zingers out there, man.
You make the podcast?
Yeah.
You make the show.
Dude's got taste.
Dude, I'm not even showing up tomorrow. You just do this.
Yeah.
I'm tired of getting all these T-Roy's funny as fuck emails.
It's good. I'm tired of carrying you.
Yeah, asshole. And on that ridiculous note, let's call it a day there.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Again, sorry about yesterday. I appreciate y'all being here today to listen to the show Troy carries on his own. Of course, he's funny as fuck. That won't bother me or my ego. That's okay. I'm a big boy. We'll do it again tomorrow. We'll see you guys all then.